Okay, started with an old scrap piece of 3/4 inch plywood from another project, mounted onto that one of those little gear motors, about 5 RPM. Had to use a spacer so it would stay level with the wires coming out. And then a threaded brass rod, like you find inside of lamps, hole drilled in it to match up with the hole in the gear motor, and then made a little smooth plastic slippery washer so there's no metal against metal. Sorry about that. And then that will bolt on with this little bolt, and we'll take it from there. A circle was cut out of a piece of white translucent plastic, and that'll serve as the surface of the liquid in the bucket. We'll mount to that pole that's on the gear motor. This picture shows a light socket was mounted next to the gear motor. That light will be underneath the white plastic disc and shine up. So here we are. The cord for the whole thing goes through a hole here in the back side of the bucket so that the cord doesn't have to drape over the edge. And then here's the unit that sits inside. So there's the motor with the that's better, with the threaded rod bolted onto the motor, and a socket wired in place for the lights underneath the disc, and then the disc that rotates mounted up on top. And this all fits down inside the bucket. Of course, there'll be bubbles and spiders and stuff on top of the disc in the bucket. This shot shows the bucket stirring all by itself with the bubbles on top. This was the first time putting all the pieces together with the bucket, the lights underneath. I later changed the lights to a green color I thought would be better, and the skeleton there, kind of getting an idea of where we're going. The surface of the disc actually has just a piece of bubble wrap to give it some bubbles, and the various little items floating in the liquid are there to disguise the bolt in the middle, and also to disguise this little piece of loose plastic PVC pipe cap, which is mounted loosely with a bolt so that when he stirs, the stick will sit into that and be held in place. So instead of the skeleton stirring the liquid is actually moving the skeleton's arms. This is the skeleton that will be stirring the bucket of toxic waste. They tend to come pretty plain, just white plastic, so some watered down paint was used to add a little texture and age to the bones. I also used the heat gun to soften the plastic in the neck so the head would be looking down towards the bucket, and also to soften and mold the fingers in the hand so they look more like they're holding the stick that will be doing the stirring. And so here's the final result. He's looking very intent on mixing up his bucket of toxic waste. Get that thing stirred.